About this earlier, I was remembering Hurricane Ike, and this goes back a ways, but it did come all the way up into our neck of the woods with moisture. But we have a special guest with us here now.
We certainly do. As the hurricane makes landfall, supply chains start falling apart. Flooded roads, closed airports, that makes it hard to get anything in or out.
So for more on all of this, we're welcoming in Scott Frederick from Logistics Plus. Scott, so much of Florida we know is low-lying, water rising. We see that one bridge there in the Tampa area. So what are the options for moving stuff when roadways are underwater? Is that your biggest concern? And what are they going to need most? Water and food?
Yeah, I mean, just what we needed, another supply chain disruption, right, with everything else that we've had going on over the last couple of years between COVID and everything else. But there's not a lot we can do. Obviously, we're like everybody else. We have to kind of sit and wait. We work closely with our customers. We plan ahead. Particularly the customers that are importing things into the ports of Florida, that kind of thing. We work in advance to try and schedule those ahead of the storm if we can. In cases where we don't get the stuff out on schedule, then we arrange for dedicated transportation to load those containers in special warehouses. And then we wait, like everybody else. We wait for the storm to subside and then deal with the consequences afterwards.
Obviously, right now, the primary concern is the people in Florida. But as this starts to subside and we're left with all of this damage, how much does that gunk up supply chains for the rest of the country? Because there's things coming into Florida that everybody else wants.
Yeah. Well, Florida, in and of itself, is a very heavy inbound area. They consume a lot of supplies. And I read some recent research that people who follow these kind of hurricane activities, and the disruption could take 9 weeks before this clears up, before we see things get kind of back to normal again. So obviously, we're very concerned about the people and the residents in Florida. We're also very concerned because we have 7 employees that are based in Florida. Wow. We have 4 employees that work out of a small warehouse and branch office in Miami. And I talked to them this morning, and they're thankfully doing well. A couple of them are working from home, and a couple of them are in the office, but they're doing okay. Miami, luckily, avoided a lot of the main hurricane activity. We have one employee that's actually based out of Tampa Bay, and I understand from my team that he's out beyond the storm, staying in various B&Bs right now, trying to avoid the storm pattern. We have another employee based just south of Orlando, and he sent me some videos today of the wind pattern and heavy rains, but he's doing okay and he's hunkered down. And then we have one more employee just north of West Palm Beach on the east part of Florida, and the same thing. He's dealing with a lot of rain, but we think he's going to be okay.
Well, I hope your employees stay safe. We know you've helped get so many materials to Ukraine, and I'm sure if you need to be moving things in to support relief efforts in Florida, we'll be here to help you as well.